Welcome to John Marshall Field. And tonight, 49th Annual Senate Championship, the Warriors of West Tech, representing the North Senate, will take on the South Senate champion Flyers of South High.
It's a beautiful night for football. I'm looking forward to a well-played, hard-fought game. West Tech has not won the city championship. Tonight will be our night.
I'd like to congratulate Coach Bob Madison on his championship. I'd like to congratulate South High on their championship. This is the frosting on the cake. For us to spread it, we've got to handle their running game. If we can, I think it's going to be a real good football game.
And patience, I think, is the name of the game for both coaches. Hi, everyone. Mike Massa, along with Brian Powers. And Brian, it's been a long time for both coaches. West Tech was here in 1975. They've been here 4 times. They've never won a championship. South has been here 3 times. They've won 1, but that was way back in 1933, and that was at Shaker Heights. So it's a big game for both of them. West Tech has never been able to get here, yet they were so very tough in the late 30s and early 40s.
Yeah, they really, of course, the Senate football very strong. West Tech having good football teams throughout the years, history of it, but it's hard to get into the championship game. They're here again in it, and they would like to win it. For South, it's been a while since 65 and 66. Good ball clubs with Donnie Lampka and the boys. They're having a good time. And then it's been a few years since then. So both coaches, as you could tell, excited to be here. Their teams are ready.
Yeah, I bet they are. And we've got really a contrast in style. We're going to have one that's going to throw the ball, and we're going to have one that's going to run the ball. And West Tech, split backs, and they're powerful and have some good running backs.
They really do. They have 2 backs that can move from the split back, tailback, fullback, whatever you want to call it, and also split. And they'll throw the ball if they have to. Quarterback, but basically a running team. When you talk about a running team, you have the halfback coming up to the wide side and the power inside. Quarterback can throw that ball, and that's Hassan Abdullah. Can move with that ball to the outside, throw the ball well. And with West Tech, he's been impressive in their North Senate title. He'll direct the 2-back offense that we mentioned and the various pro looks of this team. Hassan has completed 32 out of 78 passes for 570 yards and 5 TDs. The halfbacks that we were talking about, one is Richard Beard, number 41 at 5'11". Beard is a strong runner who's developed into one of the area's best. He looks great on tape. He's learned all the moves from his halfback position. His most valuable player has a neat 5-yard average each time he carries the ball and 10 TDs. And Mike, he's also a good pass receiver for Coach Madison's ball club.
Well, Brian, they've been averaging a little over 17 points a ball game. And they've gone against some very good teams. Both of these teams, by the way, coming in 5-0 in their respective conferences. And 6-4 for West Tech and 5-5 for South. But defense has still got to be the name of the game for West Tech. They're going to be using that 4-4. But that means that the linebackers are going to be critical. And we're going to have to see a lot of blitzing because they've got to stop Kennedy, who's a quarterback for South High.
Now, South can move with that ball, so you have to have a good defense. You have to get in that quarterback. Outside pressure from the 4 will do it, but you have to have good linebacking play that can also blitz, but also drop back into the short zones to take away the passing. And they have that in their middle linebacker, number 50 for West Tech, who is Lamar Thomas, a very strong middle linebacker and usually out of the right side. They do rely on the linebackers in their even defense alignment that they should play. Lamar likes contact from that middle linebacking position. He's had 20 solo tackles and 15 assists. He's recovered 1 fumble and has 2 sacks to his credit. So he can do it in the 4-4. Be interesting to see if they can stop the passing attack of South and also contain their runners inside.
Brian, when you talk about a 4-4, you really feel that you've got the 4 linebackers, and in the pros they're using a 3-4. But when you look at that lineup on the field, it looks like it's in, they've got the cornerbacks that are about the same depth as their linebackers. So it's really a 4-6. And then 1 safety.
It really can amount to that. And even with the 4, if you want to get technical, sometimes they'll take those 2 backers and move them up, and it's a 6. What it is, it's an even defense. They give you the man with centers the ball. They usually leave that open, spread the linebackers out, a lot of people up within a 5-yard perimeter of that ball. And they can move, though, and it's hard to get deep on them because they're so quick and fast, and they have the extra linebacker, only 5 big guys down.
Brian talks about having them within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. You're going to see it sometimes that you've got 5 of those guys within a yard of the line of scrimmage. I just want to prepare people for that. Let's take a quick look offensively at South High School, the Flyers. It's been a long time. Fred has been there, the head coach there, for about 25 years. Always comes up, but just never quite seems to make it. But he's got a well-balanced attack. And he's got some great receivers, and Antonio Kennedy is a quarterback that can throw the ball. So it should be an interesting game for South.
We talked about West Tech. Their running game is the thing they like to go to. For South, they have a passing game. They started out early in the year with their passing. Now they've blended some nice running. But when they have to, they go with number 18, Antonio Kennedy, the quarterback. You can see the size that Antonio has at 6'4". He has the responsibility of running the multi-pro and I-formation sets of the Flyers. This All-Senate quarterback has had quite a season. His passing has accounted for over 1,100 yards and 10 TDs. He can also run with that ball if he has to. And when you throw that ball, you better have somebody who can get down that field, and they have it. Number 7, Larry Robinson at 5'11". Keep your eyes on this end because he is a game breaker. Of his 27 catches, 7 of them have gone for TDs. His three-year starters had great speed. He's also the deep return man on punts and kickoffs. And Mike, your depth chart also shows him as the free safety on D, so he can do it all, Larry Robinson.
Yeah, he's a good one, and they have a tight end that can receive and they can also throw out of the backfield. And isn't that quarterback, Hassan Abdul, put together?
Yes, he really is.
6'4", 6'5". We've got a couple of different weights on him, from 207 to 218. I asked him about it, and he said, "No, I was big when we started the season, but now I'm down to 207."
Kennedy for South. He's really is put together, can throw that ball. Robinson is big and will play a lot of spots. But they have a good defense also for the Flyers.
All right, in their defense, it's going to be a 5-2, and that means that your linemen, your 5 men up front, are going to have their hands full trying to stop Beard because he is a load.
He really is, and he looks good, and they can move that ball. And in the 5, it's going to be a basic 5-2, or it's really going to be what's going to look like the old straight 5-4. They don't do a lot of changing with it, but they have a linebacker that is strong on the inside, linebacker the outside. But on a 5-man line, you usually have to have somebody inside, and they have it at number 54, Harold Harrison, the defensive tackle on the right side. He goes about 215 or 20 pounds, Mike. He'll line up on that right side in their 5-2. And he's a third-year starter again, an all-league performer. He's had 6 sacks, 1 block punt, 36 solo tackles, and 46 assisted tackles. You are going to be calling his name tonight, Mike. Besides all of that, he is also the center on offense.
And I'll tell you, what a great personality and $1 million smile he's got. He asked me what I had him down for. I said, well, the coach said you're 215. He's no way. He's on at least 220. And you look at those rosy cheeks, yeah, he's at least 220.
At least 220, I think so. Nice young man. In fact, all of them we got a chance to talk with tonight.
They sure are. You know, it's a great night. The weather is absolutely perfect. The last 3 years we've been here, it's been nothing but rain. The field now is very firm. There's no wet spots. There's no soft spots. Even where there's no grass, it's going to be good footing. And that's going to help, I think, both teams because Robinson's got the speed, and, of course, Beard likes to run for West Tech. So everything is here. They want to win, both of them. The kids can't remember when the last time they won a championship from either of these two schools. So the Warriors are going to take on the Flyers in the 49th Annual City Championship. And Brian, I'll be back for the start of the kickoff right after this. Back to John Marshall Field, the 49th Annual Championship. Days have passed at the stadium, Brian. 70,000 people, 60 was a small crowd. It's changed, but I think the excitement is still here.
Media event.
Well,
Pearl Harbor.
The victories in their respective senates, the North and the South now, but the main thing is youngsters out here ready to play a good brand of football. I think we'll see it tonight.
And before we go any farther, I want to apologize to Antonio Kennedy in calling him Hassan Abdullah. But Antonio is put to... South will kick off and defend the north goal. South is in their orange and white. The Flyers and the Warriors will be in their white and with red numerals and gray pants. As we mentioned earlier, it's been a long time coming for both schools. They haven't been in here very often, and to date back all the way to 1933, which is what, something like 54 years since our last championship for South. West Tech has been here 4 times and even haven't won once. They've been in there. They've been close. They haven't been beaten badly, but they've never walked away with that championship. Well, both teams have got an opportunity to really do it here tonight. Number 82 you're looking at is Harold Jarvis. He'll be kicking off for South High. The deep men for West Tech will be Hunter, Wilcox, and Patterson. And Hunter loses it, picks it up, finds a little running room, cuts it upfield, hits the 40, and goes down right there. Good bit of running. Tripping up was Kevin Workman, tripped up Hunter. The West Tech offense is tailback oriented, and both have good balance between the run and the pass. Their line is big. The two tackles average 248 pounds. They are big ones. There's the twin backs. Hassan Abdullah will be a quarterback. Beard, number 41, Richard Beard. And this is a handoff to Richard Wilcox. Crosses midfield and powers his way to the 40 of South High. Brought down by Kevin Workman and Larry Robinson. I guess everybody expected Richard Workman to get it. West Tech's South defense is only one starter back, but are quick, and they have 13 sacks. We'll get to the line backers in the secondary right after this play. This is Beard. He goes in off tackle, gets to about the 37-yard line where Vernon Henderson, a linebacker, brought him down. That'll bring up a 2nd and 7. The ball is at the 37-yard line. 11 minutes to go. Just 2 minutes gone. First quarter. West Tech took the kickoff, and they've gone a long way. Out in the wing is Lateef Patterson. This is a handoff to Beard, and he is stopped. Could be for a yard lost by Harold Harrison. The 220-pound tackle, and a fumble recovered by South High. First break of the ball game goes to the Flyers. They'll take over first down from their own 47-yard line. Make that 37. South High, as I mentioned before, the tailback-oriented offense. They've got some good balance, and they can run and they can throw. Antonio Kelly's got some grand receivers. The backs are Bill Rogers, 20. He's a tail. Vernon Henderson will be the fullback. Kennedy wants to throw, and I just think he threw it away. He had no one even in the vicinity. Michael Harris putting a lot of pressure on Kennedy, and that is what West Tech felt they had to do. Ten minutes, 12 seconds to go. First quarter, it'll be a 2nd and 10. End split, flanker to the near side. Tailback, Bill Rogers, number 20. He gets the ball and picks his way, gets some nice yardage as he gets close to the 35. Be shy about 2.5 yards for a first down, maybe closer to 3. Xavier Hunter, the free safety, brought him down. That'll bring up a 3rd and 3. Again, Roger tailback, Vernon Henderson the fullback. He's 5'6", 160 pounds. And in and out of the hands of Tommy Anderson, the tight end. And as he turned, the ball was there, and he just never looked it into his hands. So that'll bring up a 4th and 3, which means that South High will be having to punt.
We talked about Kennedy and the throwing ability. Antonio goes up this time trying to hit Tommy Anderson, 88, just the end, tight end, down across a few yards. Didn't make it. Punting situation.
This is Kevin Workman who'll be punting for South. The deep people will be Richard Wilcox on the near side and Xavier Hunter on the far side. And it goes high bounce and starts to go backwards in favor of West Tech, but it's going to be down at the 28-yard line. .9:20 to go, and running, 1st and 10, line of scrimmage, the 29 for West Tech. Hassan Abdullah is still a quarterback. Beard will be the one running back. Keith Patterson with the wing. Richard Wilcox, and a flag is thrown. That stops the clock.
Dead ball.
This South defense line has only one starter back, but are quick, and they have 13 sacks. The linebackers read keys well and are hitters. The secondary is very young. Landers is a freshman, Walker a sophomore, Workman a junior, Robinson a senior, but he's a 3-year starter. It's a 1st and 5 for West Tech. This is Hunter. And he's caught down by near the knees by Dave Walker, the sophomore cornerback who's playing up close. But a pickup of about 7 yards. They'll bring up a second and a short 3.
Flyers playing their 5-2 defense. The 4 linebackers pretty straight going across there. Got some good line play. Number 72 anchors that left side. Hunter coming up on the inside play with quarterback coming down the line of scrimmage.
Good look at Hassan, 5'11", 190-pound senior. He wants to take to the air for the first time. Oh, was he barreled? He spun away, and he just ran right into the arms of number 54, Harold Harrison. Oh, what a shocker.
Hassan going back. Now, he really didn't get a chance. He fakes into the right side, trying to hand the ball off. He's looking to his left. There's no one out there. The receiver did not go out to the left. Only 2 men got out. I think he was looking for Alonzo Patterson, 84, but he didn't get off the line of scrimmage. No one to throw the ball to. He had to take the sack.
Brings up a 3rd and 9. The ball is now sitting on West Tech's 30. Let's see if Hassan wants to throw again. He does. Being chased. Screen pass. Gets it outside. Gets to the 40. Gets the first down. And gets close to midfield. This is Richard Beard, who came out of the backfield, and he is a load. Tough to bring down, but enough for the first down.
Boy, load is correct. Richard Beard, the outside. It's 41. Quarterback Hassan going back. Looks to his left. Dumps off to the halfback. You're going to see a nice block coming into your screen. Number 50, Lamar Thomas, puts the hit on there. It's bringing Beard down to the sideline. You can see he's the runner we talked about, moving in there for the first down for the Warriors of West Tech.
And Kevin Workman Robinson in the tackle, and Tommy Anderson is the one who forced Hassan Abdullah out of the pocket, but a first down. And a whistle, and that'll stop play. The clock showing 7:02 remaining.
Dead ball. Offense.
Well, the referees are throwing the flag. The referee is Bob Blatsford. John Jones, the umpire. Jim Avery, the linesman, the lines judge. Marty Weinkoop, and Archie Frame is the back judge in the city championship game between West Tech and South.
On the offsides, that'll cost West Tech 5 yards. The ball is spotted right on the 43. That'll bring up a 1st and 15 for West Tech. They've had 2 penalties. One penalty, their first flag as a correction. There's one against each team. Matt Gray brought down Richard Wilcox, who's the other running back for West Tech. Many times they'll put Hunter in there in place of Wilcox. He's got more speed. In fact, that was Hunter on that carry. Now Wilcox comes in. Hunter leaves. There's Wilcox, number 36, 6'2", 290-pound junior. He's got good speed, about 4.5, and that's on grass. 2nd and 14 for the Warriors. And now they've got a double wide to the near side. Pitch out, just to Wilcox. Cuts it inside, gets across midfield. He's going to break it with 4.5 speed. Nobody will catch him. Kevin Workman was chasing, but just could not catch him. West Tech gets on the scoreboard. 6-0 with 5:57 remaining in the first quarter. Boy, he just made a cut inside, cut back out to the right, and he was away to the races.
He went. It was a nice formation. We'll get to it and hope to see it at 5:57. The big run by Wilcox.
76 yards. No, 56 yards on that. Wilcox now with 2 runs has 76 yards. Had a 20-yarder on the first play of the game and then turned around and hits a 56-yarder. We say the running game is the fortunes of West Tech, and they'll go for 2 here. Hassan Abdullah. Quarterback in motion goes Beard. Abdullah Hands off to Hunter, and he just fights his way. And he did not get in. He was just so close, but the defense from South just turned around and just shut him down. Let's take a look at that run. 56-yarder by Richard Wilcox, the junior.
It's the first time we've seen the formation. The running backs to the side. It's a pro wedge to the right. They pull 81, who in this case is a tight end, and all the load is to the right side and running hard. Richard Wilcox breaks it. It was a different offensive look for South to see. They didn't adjust fast enough, and Wilcox did the rest with a long burst of 56-yard run. There you can see it now. You can see the line. 81 is pulling. There's the good pull on the play, and South did not adjust to it, and Wilcox took care of the rest. Mike, you're right. He can pick him up and lay him down.
The flyer who was trying to put a tackle on him was Robert Landers, and Wilcox at 190 pounds just went right through Landers, who's 5'8" and 149 pounds and only a freshman. He tried to tackle him high, and Wilcox just went right through his arms. Good piece of running. So West Tech is on the board now, leading at 6-0 with just inside 6 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Kicking off will be Richard Beard, number 41. Deep men will be Kennedy, Robinson, and Rogers. Robinson in the middle. He takes it at about the 8. Well, does he look like he had room? He started to slip down as he started to make his cut. As he crosses the 25, gets to about the 27, brought down by Dink Gray. Here's your South offensive line. The offensive backs that I talked about before. The secondary is very young. The offensive line for South is average size, but they run block very well. But 5 will be going 2 ways. They could be getting tired very early in the game. West Tech's front 4 will play a physical game and are extremely strong. And the linebackers are active and they are hitters. Secondary are all juniors, but there's an awful lot of quickness back there. So it's going to be tough for Antonio Kelly to try and throw against West Tech. 2nd and 9. Line of scrimmage the 28. And Rogers the deep man. Henderson is the up back. Nice pass from Kennedy, goes to Vance Kinney, but a fumble, and picked up by West Tech's Lamar Thomas. And it belongs to the Warriors, and they take advantage of another break. The hit on Kinney was put on by Jim Graff, a senior, number 85. And Kennedy coughs it up, and Lamar Thomas, the linebacker, was there to grab it.
Another big turnover. Quarterback Antonio Kennedy firing out there to Vance Kinney. Now he has it. The completion is there. The ball is stripped at this point. It's loose. Coming up then is number 50, Lamar Thomas. He's all over that field. He can pick it up in advance, and he does for a few yards. They're ready with their offense.
And that's the second fumble recovery for Lamar. Trying to get outside on this one was Latif Patterson, who is the wing back at 5'9", 170 pounds. He's brought down by Nello Purnell, number 83, defensive end for the Flyers. Coming in, number 11, you're looking at is Xavier Hunter, a junior. Good student. He's carried the ball 62 times, carries about a little over 5-yard average. He's gone for 6 touchdowns rushing, and has 1 via the pass. But it's going to be a 2nd and 13. Pitch back goes to Hunter. Tries to get outside and just fluffs off tacklers. He's got that speed. You just can't get a hang on to him. You think you've got the angle, all of a sudden he's halfway past you. Good speed.
Like very similar offensive set to the one that scored the touchdown. It's a load, a pro to the wide side, which means it's an overload. Instead of 1 man out on the flank, there are 2, and they also pull someone so they get everybody to the side, trying to get in front of the pitch for the halfback.
3:49 to go in the quarter. It's a 3rd and 10. The line of scrimmage for West Tech is at South's for 22. In the flats. Oh, what a hit! Put on by number 14, Dave Walker, only a sophomore, and also Eric Elder, a senior, number 56 at 192 pounds. Hassan Abdullah picked it back to Patterson, and he just took a shot.
Patterson is in the tailback position. It's just a short pass, but it is a pass to 34 Lateef. And there's the hit Mike talked about. Both men getting them in low. Walker also on that hit, very hard with Elder 56. Nice tackling by the defense.
4th and 10, and Coach Bob Madison feels he's in 4-down territory. They got a flanker to near side and split far side. And a screen pass. He intended this one for number 50, who would be ineligible. That's Lamar Thomas.
And that's why it wasn't completed. Lamar looked at it, tried to hit someone over the middle. I don't know if, I think it was number 11, Xavier Hunter, was in the area, but he just couldn't see. Everyone was in too fast. The screen has to have a little bit of deception. You have to hold out a little bit before you let them slide by.
So the defensive front five for South High has been able to get to the quarterback, Abdullah. But South will take over, 1st down. Cutting the outside, number 20, Bill Rogers, the tailback. Brought down by Lateef Patterson, one of the two-way performers, along with Xavier Hunter. That was a pickup of, let's call it 7. We'll bring up a 2nd and 3rd. So Rogers now is 3 carries, 15 yards. He's the only person with any yardage for South High. Yes, South High. Rogers gets it again, and he gets a 1st down as he gets very close to the 35. Clock showing 2.5 minutes to go in the 1st quarter. Number 36 you're looking at for South High was Eric Johnson, who's their nose tackle on defense. We'll talk about him later, but one of his sidelines, he also plays the trumpet in the band for South High. Nice fake. Kennedy completes this one to number 34, Vernon Henderson, the fullback coming out of the backfield, and he gets to about the 43. Brian Nichols, Xavier Hunter forced him out.
Okay, now we're going to see Kennedy go back. He gives a fake. He puts the ball on the hip. It's a bootleg to the right side, but it's stopped in there by 45, who comes across, gets in his way, and the wounded duck goes up in the air. But hey, they count. Vernon Henderson has a completion, and he goes into the sideline.
It's a 2nd, about a yard for South. This one goes to their up back, number 20, Bill Rogers. That's another 1st down with 1:33 to go in the 1st quarter, and we have an injured Warrior down at about the 45. He gets some help from his teammates, and he's going to stay in the lineup. It's number 34, Lateef Patterson, 5'9", 170-pound junior. He's got grand speed, 3 to 5, 4, 4-5 as well. Good student in the classroom. Good-looking Antonio Kennedy. He is really a well-built young man. Oh, he's got a good one going here, but it's going to be intercepted. This is Lateef Patterson, but falls down. And as he starts to get up, number 7, Larry Robinson, just put a hit on him.
Antonio couldn't get this one off. He goes back again. There's good line pressure and there's rush, and you can see he just had to go back. He was leaning back. He didn't have a throwing arm with a quarterback, so it's up there again in the air, bringing down rain, but it came down into the hands of Lateef Patterson. Started to go down, but a hit was put on by Larry Robinson to make sure he drove him into the sideline.
Yeah, and he was airborne when he hit the...
He sure
got hit. That was good pressure put on by Alpine for South High to force that errant throw. West Tech takes over from the 31, 1st down. We're down to the final 46 seconds of the 1st quarter as Richard Beard gets just about back to the line of scrimmage. Just make it a 2nd and 10. Line of scrimmage will be the 31. Out goes number 85, Jim Graff, Alonzo Patterson. He is Lateef's brother. Alonzo's a junior, Lateef a senior, and he is the wingback. Both good size. This is Beard, got some running room. And he loses the ball. And it is still not covered, finally covered by South. They lost about 12 yards, but they recovered. Matt Gray finally fell on it for the Flyers. Make that Nello Brunell.
Quarterback going back. Abdullah handing off the 41. Richard Beard, who has the opening. He breaks through, and the ball is, you just saw the ball fly out. 1, 2 men touch it. It's still loose there. 3 and 4, they fall on it. First, we thought 72 had it. It's still loose. And finally, that's Durnell, number 83, who comes up with the fumble.
And I'll tell you, they have finally got it, though. But that ends the first quarter of play with the score. West Tech 6, South High nothing. We'll be back with the second quarter right after this. Bad-sized crowd here for the 49th Annual Championship. John Marshall Field, and West Tech is on top by 6. Both teams have 2 turnovers now. So South takes over. Antonio Kennedy, a quarterback. Oh, we've got foot room. What a quick hitter by Bill Rogers, who gets all the way to West Tech's 40. First down.
Rogers moving with that ball, and in the first quarter, South had ball 11 plays, 21 yards rushing, 11 passing for 32 yards, 4 minutes and 14 seconds. And right there, Rogers picked up almost as many yards as the whole South High team did in the first quarter.
First down, Antonio, just wide of the mark. The intended receiver was Harold Jarvis, who's got 7 receptions already this year, a senior at 5'11", and he just tried to reach out and couldn't bring it in. 88 goes in now. Tommy Anderson as Jarvis comes out for South High.
Like in that first quarter, West Tech had 15 plays, 101 yards rushing, 17 yards passing for their 118 yards. 7 minutes and 46 seconds and 6 points.
2nd and 10 for South. Just started the second quarter. This goes to the fullback. Vernon Henderson, the man who intercepted that pass, takes a good hit by Alonzo Patterson, who's their split end as well as a monster. Well, I'll tell you, they are really hurting people here in these hits.
They can't hit the Warriors from their 4-4, the outside man coming across. And there it is. You aren't going anywhere. Number 84, Patterson with a strong tackle.
3rd and 7 for the Flyers. And it's going to be an encroachment against West Tech. That'll cost them 5 yards. It'll still be it'll come up to a 3rd and 2. Just inside 11 minutes. Exactly 1 minute and 6 seconds gone. Second quarter, it's a 6-0 score. West Tech enjoying that 6-point lead.
The South Flyers making a call on the offense a little bit different now. They had the long yardage to go, probably some type of pass play with a 5-yard penalty. We'll see if they'll run that ball.
3rd and 2. Henderson, the up back. Bill Rogers, the deep back. Rogers gets the call, and he is hit. He gets the handoff. West Tech had some people in the backfield before the handoff was even made between Kennedy and Rogers. Lamar Thomas on the stop.
It's a delayed hit with looked like it's supposed to be a kind of trap to the outside, and Henderson trying to get up there to have the block on Rogers, but everybody came in from the right side.
Lamar hit him, and Patterson hit him up high and went over the top. As you're looking at Kevin Workman, he'll be punting, standing on the 45, and Wilcox and Hunter are back. High kick, not going to go very far unless it makes a good bounce for South High, and it's going to be down at the 17, close to the 18-yard line, and then it to be an 18-yard punt for Kevin Workman. So the Warriors will take over deep in their own territory and try and get that running game going again. 10:03 to go. First half. 6-0 score, and West Tech enjoying that lead. Hassan Abdullah will be at quarterback. The deep back is Xavier Hunter, number 11. Beard is halfback. And a bad snap from the center, James Hollis, to Abdullah, but it's covered by West Tech. They may have even picked up a yard or so on that play. Nope, they lost a yard, they say. Make it 2nd and 11. Line of scrimmage is the West Tech 17. And now they have Wilcox in it, one running back. Beard the other. This one goes to Wilcox, and is brought down at about the line of scrimmage. He may have even lost a yard. Get close to between the 16 and 17.
Quarterback coming down the line. Abdullah now, he's going to hand off to Wilcox, who had just come in, who's been alternating in there. Richard Wilcox to the outside, and he looked like he's going to have some room to go. Number 30 comes up and makes a nice play on it, and then they come across, and really they have good pursuit for the Flyers. Outside of that long break that they had early in the game for Wilcox, the Flyers have been able to come across and have some pretty good defensive position. Look at this formation, Mike.
Boy, they got an end split. They got a running back and a slot back on the far side of the field. West Tech's going to throw deep. Whoa! Just ever so close. The intended receiver was Alonzo Patterson, and that ball must have traveled 60 yards in the air from Hassan Abdullah. Let's see if we can count him.
Let's see it. Now you can see the long slap back to Hassan Abdullah. Now he just stands back there, fires, has a strong arm, gets the wrist into it. It's high. You counting all those yards, Mike? I'm watching the end fly down the field, looking at Alonzo Patterson moving 54 yards in the air. He has quite an arm, but it's an incomplete pass.
And it's 4th and 11, which means that Donnie Hewley will kick from his own 3. Bad snap. He's going to try and run with it. And he's forced out of bounds again by Kevin Workman. He's the one who tackled on that last play on Wilcox. So now the Flyers find themselves in excellent field position. One of the problems that West Tech has had is bad snaps from center.
Well, we're going to see it here. The kicker is ready. There's a snap of the hands, waiting for the ball, but no, it bounces before it gets to him. Can't short hop it. They're there. He can't even now. He wants to kick. Isn't able to. He just wants to pick up some yards, but a good tackle goes out of bounds. A break for the Flyers.
Well, let's see if they can take advantage of this break. This is Rogers, and he's wrestled down hard. His forward progress took him to about the 16. One advantage, I think, for South is their kicking game and special teams. Kevin Workman, who does the punting, has already one field goal this year. Is 1 for 1. That was for 25 yards out. So if they can't get into the end zone, they will probably try for a field goal. 2nd and 9. Kennedy hits Larry Robinson. And Robinson gets to about the... Well, let's see where they're going to spot it. They'll spot it at the 11-yard line. 11 or 12. Lateef Patterson finally brought down Robinson. Robinson, that was his 28th reception of the year, 27 going into this game. So this will bring up a 3rd and 4. Back in that eye. This is a handoff to Vance Kinney, the wingback, who gets close to a first down. No, they're going to be about a yard and a half shy. Jonathan Lee and Xavier Hunter brought him down. But Vance Kinney, who's the wingback, came over, took the handoff from Kennedy, and so picked his way just inside the 10-yard line.
They do most of their running with Bill Rogers, number 20, but that time with the wingback Vance Kinney, number 24, coming across, hoped to catch the over pursuit of the Warrior defense, but they stayed home pretty well, made the stop. So now it's the crucial 4th down call.
Larry Robinson's in split, far side. The slot back Kinney is there. And a first down, Bill Rogers. Number 20, the junior, at 6 foot, 155 pounds, goes right off tackle, enough for the first down. He runs into Lamar Thomas, but he still got that first down. With 6 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the half. A 6-0 score. West Tech with that 6-point lead. Rogers now 36 yards on 9 carries. And you're looking at the part of the coaching staff. The one thing about South High, Fred O'Black, they'll get to the play, about a 2-yard pickup. Get down to about the 4. You find, you saw Fred O'Black down there. One of the things about West Tech, Bob Madison is not on the field. Bob Madison is up here in the press box. And the official's timeout on the field. Bill Rogers now. That was his 87 average coming into this ball game in 2 TDs. But he's caught 6 passes. So Kenny with 1 run and 2 yards. Henderson 3 yards on 1 carry. But 3 of 7 for Kennedy. Antonio Kennedy with 16 yards and of course through the 1 interception. It's going to be a 2nd and goal from the 4. And the quarterback, Antonio Kennedy. And no, did not get in, got close. I saw the 1 arm go up and I thought it was going to be a touchdown. But he's just holding up 3rd down coming up.
Official on each side, the line judge, the linesman have the opportunity to watch that and are looking to see if he breaks the plane of the goal line. There's the extra drive that he had in there. We thought he was stopped a couple yards short. He's down short of the goal line. The official coming in, signifying the down.
I think I'd give it to him again. Kennedy at 6'4".
Why not?
215. And they're going to do it. And I think he got in. Yes, he did. Touchdown, South High. And that ties it up at 6 with 4:31 to go in the half. And I am certain that they'll bring in Kennedy, or Workman, number 30. I shouldn't say that I'm certain. I haven't seen him come in yet. No, he's still on the sidelines. Fred O'Block. See what they want to do. Timeout is being called by South. And out comes number 34, Henderson, as well as Antonio Kennedy, so I'm certain they're going to try the field goal. And that will be in the person of Kevin Workman, who is just started kicking. They had a kicker prior to Kevin, but all of a sudden they're having some problems with it. And he went to Fred O'Block and said, hey, you know, I can punt and I can kick it. And so they gave him the chance, and by God, he got that 25-yard field goal.
He got the field goal, which is nice to know that he's capable of doing that. But right now, with the score 6-6, they first decided what they want to do, then call a timeout. The offensive coordinator, Ed Notek, went out on the field from the instructions from Coach Fred O'Block, went over exactly how they want to do it, where the blocking assignments were. Looks like they're ready. The holder in there is going to be Larry Robinson.
And a soccer-style kicker, Kevin Workman. And it's going to be a flag on that. No, there isn't. The center, Harold Harrison, really got nailed before he snapped the ball.
There has to be something down there. None of the officials.
Yeah, the coaches are saying the same thing. They saw the same thing I think we did. Someone came in and really hit Harris in the center.
They were flying. Now, I don't know if they're going to say it was timed that way.
That was Lamar Thomas, the linebacker.
He said it was declined. Well, I can't understand that. Nor can head coach. There was no flag on the play, and we didn't see it, so there was no flag, and that's the official is telling the head coach, Fred O'Block, from South High.
He doesn't do believe. Let's look at that touchdown with Antonio Kennedy. He only had 2 carries for a total of 4 yards, but he's got the touchdown.
He went down in there. Kennedy now is going in. You're going to see the South High Flyer touchdown to tie the score at 6-6 with the Flyers happy. The arms go up. Now, let's watch this if we have it. This is the extra point if we can get that out there.
We'll get to it, gang. Don't worry about it.
Well, I hope we have it because, of course, it was the most controversial play here in a quarter and a half in here in this Senate Football Championship.
Well, if we do have it, we'll get it to you. We haven't kicked off yet. Maybe now or maybe later if we get it. But it's all tied up now at 6 apiece. The clock's showing 4 minutes, 31 seconds to go in the half. We'll be bringing you many of the playoff scores, so at halftime, remember, stay with us. That was 7 plays and only had to go 18 yards. But it took them 7 plays, so you can talk so well of the defense for West Tech. Number 82 you're looking at is Harold Jarvis, who's a tight end and also kicks off. Gets a good one this time. Grabbing this one is number 36, Richard Wilcox. And he drags a tackler with him as he crosses the 25, get close to the 30. And that's Marky Hines, who was dragged by Wilcox. So West Tech will take over with the line of scrimmage at 29. There you see it, 18 yards and 7 plays, 3 minutes and 37 seconds, and that, of course, was after that fumble recovery. That was, I'm sorry, it was a bad snap from center, and the punter, in an attempted run, he couldn't get the kick away, was brought down from the 18. Just hard running by Beard. Nello Purnell on the stop. Make that Latif Patterson on the carry. There's a lot of interchanging of positions between a wingback and Wilcox. Number 54 you're looking at is Harold Harrison for South High, who is the defensive tackle. Young man we featured. They can ill afford to lose him at the tackle position in that 5-man front they have. Ryan mentioned some of his stats: 36 solos, 1 block punt, 6 sacks. Good student in the classroom. Student council person, all league, 2-sport man, plays basketball. And it looks like it's that left leg. It could be a cramp. Certainly hope it is. And now Abdullah for West Tech is 2 for 4, 17 yards, 3 for 7 for Kennedy for South High, 16 yards. Both teams have had turnovers. 2 fumble losses for West Tech, intercepted pass, and a fumble loss for South High. But it's all knotted up at 6 apiece with 3:47 to go. First half. We'll be enjoying the marching band from South High School, as well as bringing you scoreboard. And it's good to see that Harold Harrison, a 3-year starter, is going to walk on under his own power.
He seems to be okay, Mike, and they are taking him out, and they'd like to plug up that right side at the defensive tackle. Remember, he's a two-way performer, so they have to make sure he's okay. Get over here on the sideline with the injury. He has to stay out for 1 play, but then he will get back into the ball game if he's okay. And they're going to check him out right now. They have the doctor or trainer down there checking it out and making him stretch on it to see if those ligaments are okay.
Mike Edgerson is in replacing Harrison. Picked back and covered by South High. And another break for the Flyers. Mike Edgerson, who just came in to replace Harold Harrison, saw the loose ball and knew what to do about it. He jumped on it. And now the Flyers take over first down from the 28-yard line of West Tech.
Edgerson coming in, being in the right place at the right time. He's at the right tackle position. Second man there in the orange jersey on your screen. The ball is loose, and who's in there? But he comes right in on the play. Mike Edgerson, number 71.
This is Billy Rogers. He gets close to the 25. Knows the ball will probably touch the 25. That'll bring up a pickup of about 3. Ronzel Clayton, a senior, 2-year starter who's a two-way performer, brought him down. He's the left side tackle for West Tech. 2:49 to go in the half. All knotted up at 6. Up back, Vernon Henderson. Quarterback, Antonio Kelly. This is Rogers again. And just knee touches down as he closes in on the 20-yard line. Ronzel Clayton again there on the stop.
Like we're seeing South run that ball probably a little more than I thought they might in the first 2 quarters, but I think it's been field position. They've been down in there. They get the turnovers and the breaks, and they pick up 4 or 5 yards in that first down, so they don't want to lose the ball. They don't want to go the incomplete pass, so they're giving it to their backs, getting a little more running in there. Rogers now has 12 carries for 45 yards, 3 out of 7 for Kennedy, the quarterback.
Larry Robinson, the end split to the far side. Kinney is the wing back to the near side. In the eye. Kennedy wants to throw across the middle and a little too low. Vance Kinney starts going right across the middle. He was wide open, but it was underthrown. But a hit put on Antonio Kennedy by Michael Harris, number 45. Watch him.
We'll get to see Kennedy now. Watch coming in and look at the hit that takes place in there, but he's hurting from the other end of it, although he did help to knock Antonio down, and the completion wasn't there, but the defender down on the play that was coming in with the rush man, with a good rush that the Warriors put on for West Tech, and they've been doing that all night against Antonio Kennedy.
Yeah, they are blitzing well. Of course, that's what Coach Bob Madison said he's going to have to do. They're going to have to stop the passing game of South High. You cannot give Antonio Kennedy any time. If you give him enough time, he's going to pick you apart. And he's got some good receivers. Robinson is a good one, got good speed at 4.5. Harold Jarvis, a tight and good receiver. Vince Kinney is at 13 receptions. Rogers has also caught some. So he's got enough people to throw to. You just can't, you've got to get in his face every time he goes back to throw.
Well, they did that time. Harris, 45, was one of them who came in. He was injured on the play, but he got up. He's okay. They're taking him off. Looks like he'll be back into action soon.
Line of scrimmage is about the 21. 4th and 4. Big 4th down possession play for the Flyers. And they got Kennedy to the near side. Robinson, and he's caught from behind and dragged down at the 34-yard line. But a flag is down. Richard Wilcox dragged down Robinson, but let's see who the flag is on.
Like on the play, Larry Robinson, usually the split end. He lined up in the tailback position. Kennedy then at quarterback.
Not
enough linemen. It looks like it's going to be illegal procedure. Antonio Kennedy, the quarterback, went out for the pass. It was kind of a gadget play that they were going to have with Larry Robinson trying to throw to Tony. There's not enough men on the line if we count, so there's one short.
3, 4, 5,
flag
6.
was thrown. There's the drop from Kennedy. That is Larry Robinson, who is in the tailback. He's now looking for Antonio Kennedy. He can't see him. The official makes the call. Number 36, Richard Wilcox, playing defense, comes across and puts the pressure on the split end, who's a pass thrower at this point, and stop everything.
I think that Robinson wanted to get it to Kennedy, his quarterback. But West Tech will take over, first down from their own 33 with a minute 35 to go in the half, and all knotted up at 6. Abdullah going deep. He intended it for Brian Nichols, a 6'3" junior who's got excellent speed. He had Larry Robinson almost beaten. But I'll tell you, Abdullah's got a strong arm. He can really let it fly. That stops the clock with a minute 24 to go. Still second down and 10.
They kept everybody in to block for him because it was a long pass. Took a long time to develop. The only other man out was Lateef Patterson. He went out about 10 yards to the sideline, but it was a big play to Brian Nichols. Couldn't connect on it.
Number 80 is Charlie Miller, a sophomore. He also is a backup at split end. 2nd and 10 for West Tech. Abdullah throws a little short one out in the flats. First down, Xavier Hunter. And Hunter gets a first down as he's driven out of bounds at about the 48 or 49 by Dave Walker.
Well, you go deep on a play before. You spread the defense out deep, so you come back with a little undershot. This time to Xavier Hunter, number 11, will get the reception on the side. He has the speed, goes out, and has his 18-yard reception. Gets out of bounds on the play to stop the clock with 1:15.
And the ball is just shy of midfield. This is the 7th possession for the Warriors in this first half. Graff is in at the split end for West Tech behind. They're going to be chased. It's a screen, and Brian Nichols could just not hang on. I think he wanted to turn and run before the ball even got there because he had 3 blockers right out in front of him.
Just about had it. They have men flying down the field. They're in the shotgun. They're taking the whole defense deep with 1:15. So what they do is take the tight end, came from the left side over to the right, underneath pass. It's Brian Nichols, who is starting to turn, as Mike mentioned. He took his eye off the ball and lost it. A well-designed play, almost a big one for the Warriors of West Tech.
2nd and 10. Did I lose it down here someplace? They went. Oh, there's a winning duck. This is Workman. And Workman still on his feet. He's driven out of bounds hard as he hits the 33-yard line. It's another turnover against the Warriors. 36-yard return by junior Kevin Workman. That's his 4th interception of the season.
4th turnover on this play, on the pass play from the quarterback. Abdullah throwing it up. It's just out here. Everybody comes back, including Workman. Comes up with the interception, comes down the field, gets a big hit in there. Alonzo Patterson will really force him out. You'll see here a heck of a tackle on the play.
Going deep is Kennedy, and he throws an interception. The intended receiver was Robinson, but Brian Nichols was there for West Tech. He was in the best position to catch it. It was badly thrown. Robinson was at the sideline. It was thrown. He thought he was going to cut in, but it was intercepted.
Well, let's look at the interception again. 2 plays, 2 interceptions, one on the Warriors and this one on the Flyers. It's right in there to 81. Brian Nichols just put right into his hand his second interception of the season, and that's the 7th turnover, total turnover. So we have seen a lot of turnovers in 2 quarters of ball.
So with 32 seconds to go in the half, West Tech has the ball on their own 6, and they're just going to run out the clock. They don't want to have another turnover here because they'd like to, I imagine they'd like to go in ahead, but some 94 yards is too far to go with the time allotted, so they'll just burn out the clock. And the clock is stopped now with 13 seconds as South High stops the clock.
Well, they want to see if the West Tech ball team can have a turnover, so they're going to do all that they can. They'll just save one timeout in case they get the ball. So a good defensive strategy in the coaching staff of South High to put some pressure on West Tech and hope that they come up with a turnover so that the Flyers would get a shot with 13 seconds left. But on the other side, of course, they're just going to hold on to that ball.
Yeah, Kennedy, I think, sort of rushed it. He's been had someone in his face all the time, and he's under pressure again, but he just threw that thing wrong. He's had some people open, but he hasn't had the time to really set and, you know, use his arm, because he's got a good arm. And he's had thrown the ball some 166 times with 61 receptions, 10 touchdowns. The only thing is he's thrown 14 interceptions coming into this game. And now he has 2 in this game for a total of 16 for the season. And 9 seconds. And a timeout again called by South. That's their last timeout.
The defensive coordinator going out for the South High Flyers, Chuck Jankura, going out now to talk to his defense. All it is a snap from center to prevent offense. Otherwise, the 2 halfbacks are right up tight, just making sure the quarterback falls down. All he has to do is get the snap from the center, number 55, Hollis, and just fall with it. But even with that, South High has the timeout. You only get 3.5, so they decide they're going to use them, and anything might happen, and why not take a chance on it and put some more pressure on the snapper for West Tech between the center and the quarterback and see what happens.
It'd be nice if you could carry them over into the second half, but you can't do it.
Just can't do it, so
why not? Remember, we'll have a marching band from South High. Will be entertaining you, and then we'll bring you as many scores as we possibly can from the playoffs, which are Division 2 and 3, which will be played on Friday night. So stay with us for those scores. And that is the last play of the first half. And so the score at the end of the half is 6 for both teams. West Tech got the first score. South High took advantage of a break, and they got their 6. So we'll be back with the start of this halftime performance with South High, but first let's take this timeout.
Tonight's game